to thank you all today for coming to this event. I'm honored to be standing here in front of you all. I want to start by thanking Jerry Toll for nominating me, the selection committee for voting for me, and all the work that you've done, Mr. Gleason. Thank you. I believe that we accomplished very little in life without help from many other people. And for me, it started with the moral compass provided by my parents, Laurie and Denny Polish. I'm very fortunate to have the complete support and love of my wife of 34 years, Cindy. I have the support for parents of players represented by Stan and Brooke Suffolk. I have the support of players represented by Sage Suffolk, who's a 4-year player at Gonzaga. I have the support of friends represented by Terry Andalchik and Steve Suffolk, who were the honorary starters at our golf tournaments, and from my lifelong friend and coach who traveled down from Minnesota, Rod Liedenberg. So thank all of you. For me, it all began in a small town in northern Minnesota, and at a young age I played really all the sports that you could play. But I really fell in love with golf, and I had fond memories of playing golf as a youngster, especially memories of playing with my dad. We had the typical father-son rocky relationship, but once we got out in the course, those things dissolved, and we figured out a way to get along. When our family moved to Tucson in 1998, I was shocked to learn that the school our children were enrolled in did not have a girls' golf team. This was in 1998. It was the only high school in Tucson that did not have a girls' golf team. I approached the athletic director, offered my services, and with that, the girls' golf program at Catalina Foothills was born. At this point, I was an accomplished golfer, but I really knew very little about coaching. And I wasn't really sure if anything could take the place of my love of competitive golf. I would play golf, travel all around the country, and compete in events. And so I was anxious and nervous to try out this whole coaching thing. Well, my nervousness was well-founded because the first day that we started our intramural program, I talked to all the kids, wanted to get to know them a little bit, and I remember very distinctly 3 things I was told. First thing I had to realize is that these kids had all got cut from the other teams. So if you weren't good enough to make the volleyball team, the swim team, the basketball team, the softball team, you had your big chance as the golf team because there was no team. So if you remained academically eligible, you're going to get a varsity letter. So that gives you a little hint about who might have come out for the team that first year. So it started with the first girl that told me she hated golf. Her parents played golf and she hated it, but the only reason she came out is her and her best friend both got cut from the volleyball team and they wanted to hang out after school. So I went, okay, great, you're probably going to be a starter. Then I asked the next person, and she says, I hate competition. I don't want to play at all. I go, okay, we got quite a team here. So we started the program at Quail Canyon, the Quail Canyon National Golf and Yacht Club, I think, over there in central Tucson. And I remember at about day 3, you've got to remember I had no coaching experience whatsoever. So on day 3, we're on the putting green and the kids are performing about as you would expect. I mean, they never played golf before, but we're on the putting green and they're all leaving these putts short. And I, in my infinite wisdom, go, stop, come on over here. So I haul everyone over and I say, get around here, right at the top. I said, all right, I want to know what percentage of putts that are short of the hole go in? And this freshman raises her hand right away and says, 33%. Okay. So then one of the smarter sophomores jumps in and she goes, I know that one, coach. I said, great, help us out. because obviously the freshmen didn't know the example. She said, or the number, she said 60%. And before I could turn around and leave, the junior, the only junior on the team, goes, "You underclassmen are so stupid. Everybody knows it's 85%. Welcome to girls golf at Catalina Foothills. In spite of that, I stayed on as the coach. I slowly learned the fundamentals of coaching, the most important of which was to help the players believe in themselves and to believe in the impossible. And I would say all the time, and I have up in my indoor golf studio, why settle for good when you can be great? And they listen. So during that short career, my career of 11 years of varsity coaching was certainly way shorter than most of the coaches that were inducted today. But these kids performed unbelievably. So in 11 years, 4 state championships, 4 runner-ups, 2 individual state champions, 1 individual runner-up, 23 all-state players. Our team won against schools in southern Arizona. In 11 years, they won 95% of their competitions against schools in all classifications in southern Arizona, including over a 7-year period. They won 100 matches in a row. I mean, these kids were absolutely amazing, and they were committed. I mean, they wanted to work hard. It was during that time I realized something about coaching that I didn't know during one of our banquets, that one of the parents of one of the players came up to me and we were talking, and she said to me, "You know why these kids are playing so hard and working so hard?" And I said, "No, I don't really know why." And she said, "They don't want to disappoint you, the coach. They're doing this for you." And I never realized that, but that's really the role the coach played, and those kids really do want to pay their respects and play well for the coach. When I retired after 11 years, I came up with 7 rules for coaching, and I know we've got a lot of coaches in here, so I just want to quickly go through those rules that I came up with. Number 1, it's got to be fun. Coaches can have all the best plans, organize all the best practices, give the best motivational speeches, but I know from those 11 years, if those kids aren't having fun, they're not going to perform. Number 2, it's got to be about the team. Golf may be an individual sport, but if you want the individuals to perform at their best, everyone has to be focused on the team goals, and our players certainly did that. 3, it's about hard work. Nothing, and I mean nothing, get accomplished in this life without hard work. And I believe that success for all of us in all things is directly related to the focused efforts of the players and the individuals that they put forth on a daily basis. Number 4, winning is nice. Absolutely, winning is nice. I think everyone would agree with that, but I really believe how you prepared, how you played, and how you handled winning and how you handled losing was way more important than whether you took 1st or 2nd place. Number 5, things change. Over time, things change. Motivations change, relationship change, people change, rules changes. It's important to understand this and be prepared not only to adapt to these changes, but embrace those changes. 6, life passes very quickly. And it seems time seems to accelerate as we get older. If there's something that you want to accomplish, get busy with it, because tomorrow is rapidly approaching. And the last one was enjoy the journey. I believe joy comes from setting goals, from planning the strategy, from organizing the resources, executing the plan, dealing with bumps along the way, sharing the pain and journey with others. The lasting memories of these will be much stronger than the brief thrill you get when you experience the destination. So I want to close with just a short story. During the 2000 season, I knew that the state championship was going to come down to 2 teams. Our arch rival, Cactus Shadows in Phoenix, and ourselves. I watched the score all year, and I knew really those were the only two teams that had a chance. Our Cactus Shadows had the #1 ranked girl in the United States. All season long, I told our players we had to practice hard with maximum focus because the tournament would likely be decided by a slim margin, and that everything we did each and every day was important. During the state tournament, their #1 player, the #1 player in the United States, smashed the state record, shot 61-64. That would be for 18 holes, not 9. And they ended up beating us by 1. After the event, several players talked about how they missed some very short putts. And I remember one of them said to me, "Coach, you were right. Everything that we worked on during the season was important." And now they understood. In 2006, our theme was embroidered on our hat, and I forgot to bring it. It was the letters EM, and it was everything mattered. And those kids wore those hats every single day, every practice, every match, and they were reminded that everything matters. So in 2006, the state tournament came down to 2 teams again, and Cactus Shadows was back, and they still had the #1 player in the United States. This girl shot 64-65, and they took 2nd place. We won the state championship. Everything does matter. Thank you for your attention. Once again, I'm honored to be here, and thank you all for coming.